Hello, everyone. What a mess. What a mess. My God. I mean, things are flying here and there. We can't catch a breath. सब हो रहा है भाई साहब पिछले 23-24 घंटे इनफैक्ट पिछले 12 घंटे क्या चल रहा है ये मतलब एक पॉजिटिव खबर सेमी पॉजिटिव खबर फिर एक पहाड़ ऑफ नेगेटिव न्यूज फिर ये फिर ये मतलब क्या चल रहा है एट मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड as we've been constantly saying you can't have a day off you can't have a day of relief especially जब ट्रांसफर विंडो क्लोज हो रही होती है एंड to add to that there is a new member to the injury FC injury 11 injury crisis में डेवलप हो गए अब हम लोग I was thankful and it is a lesson for the people who were considering our center backs to be untouchable considering their fitness to be impenetrable. This is a tight slap of realization about the fickleness of the modern player who goes through so much of football and also a player like Rafael Varane जो वैसे ही प्रोन है. Thank God, शुक्रान अल्लाह कि वो अपनी फ्रांस के लिए नहीं खेल रहा. My goodness me, we have obviously wouldn't have been able to play, but we have an international break, which is the bigger. It's a break for us mentally to get a breather for us. But उससे पहले we have to end the transfer window. मतलब क्या चल रहा है यहाँ से ये लेफ्ट बैक 5-6 लेफ्ट बैक के नेम्स यहाँ से हम एक इंसान को भगाना चाह रहे हैं दूसरा इंजर्ड हो गया so then that guy stays. There's a lot to cover. I mean, there's a host of left backs, left wing backs that we have been linked to. There's that to cover. There is Maguire now almost certainly staying at the club. Then there is another midfielder, a Tottenham midfielder we are being linked to, and then there are other sorts of मतलब इमेजिन नहीं करोगे हम किस 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 प्लेयर से लिंक किए जा रहे हैं और हमारे प्लेयर्स किस किस क्लब से लिंक हो रहे हैं. So yeah, we're here to cover every damn thing. Just a small request before we start. As I said, it'll be a small request to everyone. Please, if you could like the video, subscribe to the goddamn channel. And yeah, bus motivate karo yaar, because motivation is certainly what we need right now. Because bhai saab, as I said, we just can't catch a break. We just can't catch a break as United fans, bhai saab. Matlab, so let me start off with the shit, with the bakwas injury news that has हमारे मुंह पे आ गिरी है, which is Rafael Varane could potentially be out for 6 fucking weeks. जी हाँ, 6 weeks. God damn it, that's 1.5 months. Touchwood, the only great thing about this is कि अगले हफ्ते के बाद we will have an international break, so 2 weeks are gone there. He could potentially come after. अभी जो इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक है उसके बाद मैचेस होंगे, उसके बाद एक इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक होगा, उसके बाद Rafael Varane could potentially come back. That is the extent of the injury that is seemingly. Tyrell Malacia का किसी को कुछ पता ही नहीं था उसका कब क्या कैसे सीन हो गया. Yusuf भाई says yo welcome. किसी को कुछ पता ही नहीं था उसका क्या सीन है क्या नहीं चल रहा है, and he's out as well apparently. Then there is Luke Shaw जिसकी इंजरी day by day increase हो जा रही है. No one knows what's fucking happening there. So I mean, it's just bonkers everywhere you look at. And yeah, we just can't catch a break, as I rightly mentioned. भाई साहब यहाँ से ये एक लेफ्ट बैक मेंशन हो रहा है, वहां से वो एक लेफ्ट बैक मेंशन हो रहा है, एंड यू जस्ट कांट seem to think कि यूनाइटेड कहाँ जाएगी, यूनाइटेड क्या करेगी. We wanted Maguire to go. A lot of people wanted Maguire to go and stuff. अब क्या? What are you going to do now? Because obviously Manchester United has to retain Maguire. They have to in any freaking case. Because you can't just let go of players जब आपके already players injured हो रहे हैं. So there is Rafael Varane who's injured now, and that just shuts the door for any Maguire exit. Already आज एक गंदी खबर आ गई थी that West Ham United wanted to maybe do a deal still for Maguire, and we just said no because maybe the existing conditions and sent. But now everyone, even I was like, क्या कर रहे हैं हम left back Spinazzola, Sergio Reguilon, Cucurella, Nico Tagliafico, as I said, Spinazzola. मतलब किन से लिंक नहीं हो रहा. Marcus Alonso, what the hell? We've apparently inquired about Alonso and about Cucurella, but now in the latest news, Manchester United have freaking bid 2 million plus 2.5 million as loan fee for Marc Cucurella. The other things are still being sorted. Permanent करना है नहीं करना, obligation कैसे क्या है वो सब आगे डिस्कस होना बाकी है. But before that, there is a 2.5 million bid that has been sent to Chelsea. And Chelsea, what smoke are they on? They are asking for 6-7 million as loan fee एक season के लिए. 6-7 million, hey Bhagwan. What are they trying to do, man? 6-7 million for one fucking season. That could be a transfer fee for a low-key left back. I mean, there is no way United should pay 6-7 million. It's okay. Regulon ke liye chale jao. It's okay. It's okay. You can manage. We have Alvaro Fernandez. We have Diogo Dallo. कुछ हो रहा है तो center back एक ले लो. But that puts us in a market now. We are forced. Amrabat could take the back seat very, very soon. Amrabat could take the back seat very, very soon because you know what, we now need to look at a centre back potentially. We were inquiring about pierre-emile hojbjerg, and then there was also a host of left backs. So Amrabat, sadly, as it looks, he may have to take a back seat now, which is so bad in terms of what United needed. Matlab, Hojbjerg, is he really the type of signing we want to be doing right now? We don't know. We absolutely have no clue. Is he really the type of signing we should be doing right now? Or about the fact that, Hojbjerg ho gaya. Why didn't we, why on earth aren't we looking at Amadou Onana? Like, he's the exact profile we could need. Then there is Wilfred Ndidi. For fuck's sake, why aren't we looking for these players? Like, you'd rather go for left backs in a wo, matlab, seasoned players, proven players, badhiya players, underdog players. We aren't going for them. It's just fucking shit the way we operate. Matlab, Wilfred Ndidi, Amadou Onana, we won't go for them. Now we're looking at left backs. We'll potentially let Amrabat go to fucking hell now, which is so freaking sad. We might be looking for Hojbjerg, but हम NDD की तरफ नहीं देखेंगे. We'll let Nottingham Forest fucking take him, but हम उसकी तरफ नहीं देखेंगे, which is just, I don't know what to say at this point. And as I said, now we might have to now that Pavard is also gone. Here we go, gaya uska to Inter Milan. He's not gonna fucking come back, is he? So now we might have to look at Jean-Claude Todibo now. It's just a mess. It's an all-round mess. Kushagra, welcome. He says Cucurella one season wonder. I don't believe so. I think Getafe or ya kaun sa club tha uska Spain mein, he was fantastic there. He was scouted for more than a year by top European clubs and 2-3 English clubs, including United. Then there was a big race for him against Man City. Man City almost won the race, but Chelsea won it in the end by massively overpaying. So that was that. And then he absolutely did fantastically well at Brighton also when he came from Spain. So I have no doubts, but I love the player Cucurella. He has his defensive frailties, but I think he does more than enough going forward. And I think just the instability at Chelsea overall has caused him the harm. And yeah, just I personally believe that English guy, Chilwell. I think Chilwell's, like, with his injury record, has been, I don't know, I'd call him shit with his injury record. I don't know, man. He scores goals zyada, obviously Chilwell to uske liye, but as an overall, I think Cucurella is great. I think Cucurella is great. But as I said in my yesterday's video, I still wouldn't have wanted United to go for a left back right now. I wanted them to go for Amrabat, or look for a midfielder, or another midfielder, as I said. But fucking hell, we are in a gigantic, mahabadi mess. Like, we're in a fucking mess. And you know what? Maguire ko bhej do. Just over relying on Martinez, on Varane's fitness. How the fuck do you think? How the fuck do you think that these two, like, हर दूसरे मैच में इन्हें जाके हाफ टाइम में सब्स्टिट्यूट करना पड़ता है. Papa Perez doesn't sell one of their best, a World Cup winner, 4-time Champions League winner, just like that for pennies. He did that. He scanned fucking Juventus of 100 million with Ronaldo. वो कोई बेवकूफ नहीं है. Fun of kya? He's the best. I'd call him football manager, Papa Perez. He is that guy. When he gives us that player, he possesses a big risk, which is an injury risk. And we have seen that with his record. So, I mean, come on, people are just acting so naive. Usko bej do. You know what? Maguire we sell off. Why should we sell him off for 12-18 million? Like net 30 mein ja raha hai, obviously hame usse pay out karna hai. There's no way, and he fucking stays. As much as I hate it, but he stays now. Because you know what? I don't think we're going to go for Todibo. We should. In an ideal world, we fucking should. But I don't know. Luke Shaw, Ten Hag ne apne khud shabdon mein bola tha that he could act out as a CB replacement, as a CB option as well. He's gone. Tyrell Malacia is gone. They're apparently both gone in and around till December, January. I don't know what the fuck has happened to Shaw. शॉ की हर दिन पता नहीं कौन सा इंजेक्शन दे रहा है उसे डॉक्टर, एकदम ठोक देता है और हर दिन उसकी इंजरी में 2-2 हफ्ते बढ़े जा रहे हैं. It is more severe than previously believed. It is more than what it was believed earlier. अरे भाई तू क्या कर रहे हो फिर, क्या चल रहा है, कौन सी ऐसी इंजरी हो गई? मलासिया, गॉड नोज व्हाट हैपेंड टू दैट ब्राजीलियन स्ट्रीट किड. वो भी बाहर है पता नहीं कितने समय के लिए. He's gone. We have Alvaro Fernandez, we have Diogo Dalot who can deputize it right back, and then right back with Dalot bhi hai, and then Aaron Wan-Bissaka who's doing seemingly well. But we want to go for Cucurella, and I think it is the right decision now. Because I didn't want it, but agar itni zyada tension ho rahi hai, and I believe Cucurella can do a little bit of a job. I think fucking Johnny Evans comes now, and I think we aren't going to sign a centre back. Maguire stays, Evans comes in. Bhulo mat, Johnny fucking Evans है जिसको हम सब भूल रहे हैं. By the way, welcome Vishal bhai, welcome. Cucurella was bad, but Chelsea को piss poor. As I said, I believe Cucurella ठीक है, बढ़िया player है मेरे हिसाब से. I think Chelsea का जो setup और पूरा उनका सीन है, that is too bad. Tell me one player which was good bhai. Doctor Arsenal का पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है. Man, no idea. So as I said, we might fucking sign now Johnny Evans. उसका चल ही रहा था, पता नहीं क्या तांत्रिक जादू किया उसने. Maguire stays, there is Lindelof. We are stuck with Evans, Maguire and Lindelof as the three, and Martinez. We can't even have Shaw at centre back. So for fuck's sake, Cucurella, I think now more than enough. मतलब कल Carabao Cup का draw है, परसों Champions League का draw है. Then there is press conference, there is this and that. This, if anything, tells us कि we need to have a freaking squad. Amrabat कहाँ जाएगा इसमें we don't know. It's a crisis every day at United. That's the thing. Welcome Prakash Bhai says, but why are we focusing on LB? Shaw and Malacia won't stay injured forever. We have Dalot who can play there and Alvaro. I agree. I absolutely agree. Prakash Bhai. As I said in my yesterday's pre-recorded video that it won't be my first choice. But Prakash Bhai, Shaw की पता नहीं कौन सी इंजरी है जो दिन प्रतिदिन it's just increasing. And the thing about that is, if and when Shaw does return, now that Varane is injury हो गई and Varane injury prone है भी वैसे, and we don't want to play Maguire, what bringing a left back does is it sometimes gives us Shaw as a replacement of the centre back, a left-footed centre back, which is what Ten Hag obviously prefers over a right-footed centre back. So yeah, man, seems a waste of money. It did to me before today, but the fact that now fucking Varane is injured, Shaw की injuries again believed to be more serious than before. पता नहीं भगवान जाने कौन सी इंजरी है उसे. I really believe that it could very well prove out to be a decent decision. But 6-7 million as loan fee, Chelsea, go off Chelsea. No way we're paying 6-7 million. 2.5 million offered, maximum 3.5-4. That is it. You don't go a million more than that. 6-7 की जगह तुम पता नहीं रेगुलर के लिए 10-11 दे दो, we'll get him permanently. Fucking hell, no way we're gonna pay 6-7 million for one season for Cucurella, and then probably पता नहीं कितने का उसका फिर buy obligation या option रखेंगे. Fuck no. The player wants to come, by the way. We have sent out a proposal to Chelsea, by the way. This is breaking news, and the player has agreed to the destination. So basically, the personal terms are agreed. And I know the way United fucking operate, we would be scammed of his wages. जब हमारा कोई player loan पे जाता है, किसी के पास की नहीं होती जाके दूसरे clubs को बोलना, और we end up paying more than half the wages. But I fucking know this time we would pay puri ki puri wages, because this is what United is. This is what fucking United is in the transfer window. Vishal bhai asks, are we really going for Amrabat? Bhai, you know what? For United, going for Amrabat means rukna. अरे रुकना यार. ए बाल आ रहे तेरे, चल वापस शेव कर, टकला चल. नहीं आते तू एक बार करके आ शेव, आते. This is what going after Amrabat means. Bro, we are क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं. और ढीला करो और जुलाओ इस पूरी डील को. नाउ वी डोंट, होगी नहीं भाई. हम लोग, मैं बता रहा हूँ, जॉनी एवंस साइन कर लेंगे, कोई टोडीबो नहीं आएगा. दे डोंट गिव अ फक अबाउट इट. हम लोग जॉनी एवंस साइन करेंगे. ये तब से रैंक्स में चल रहा था ना, रैंक्स में वी वर इन टॉक्स विद फकिंग जॉनी एवंस साइन होने वाला है. मगवायर कहीं नहीं जा रहा. लिंडलॉफ है जिस पे बहुत प्यार है आजकल टेन हाग को, और उसका फेवरेट लीचा मार्टिनेज है. बहुत है इसके लिए. वी माइट गो फॉर अ सीटीएम नाउ. पता नहीं वो एमराबैट होगा, कौन होगा. अगर मैक्टोमिने, by the way, I'll come to McTominay. Vishal Bhai says Murtaugh Madness might pay 10 million for Cuckoo. पता नहीं कौन से गांव की मैडनेस है भाई मेरे, मैं सच बता रहा हूँ. पता नहीं क्या चल रहा है, कौन से खेत की मूली है भाई. United, what the fuck is happening? People were talking about the sale. Remember Greenwood, Sale, ये सब बकवास. See, this is what they fucking wanted. They'd even get a player injured to get off their bullshit. That is the हालत United भाई साहब. क्या बकवास चल रही है इस क्लब में, only God knows, man. So now, by the way, there is breaking news about Mctominay as well. कल ज्ञान आगे फ्योटॉफ build और आज build और कल Fabrizio, I don't know वो, I don't think it was fake, मुझे पहले लग रहा था, but it wasn't fake. Concrete interest है apparently. Fucking Romano posted, पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है इनको, शायद इंग्लिश प्लेयर्स और इंग्लिश लीग से लग रहा है कि they're decent. पहले तो ऐसे लेते नहीं थे. I think केन के बाद इनका इंप्रेशन बढ़ गया. केन ने सिफारिश लगा दी. एरिक डायर, they're fucking after Eric Dyer for fuck's sake at their CV position, and Scott McTominay, मतलब Thomas Tuchel क्या बना रहे हैं भाई म्यूनिख को? So apparently the interest is concrete. What the fuck is United on? We're asking for 45 million. Please यार, तुम 45 million के player को, you can't bring him in. You can't bring him in a game that really wanted him, the Wolves game. The Tottenham game, you didn't bring him in at that time. तुम 45 million किस मुंह से मांग रहे हो? You don't even let him start. You don't even bring him in the 80th minute properly. What the fuck is wrong with us that we're asking for 45? भाई साहब, घर बैठा है भाई, घर बैठा है और अब सीधा म्यूनिक जाएगा. विशाल भाई, एरिक डायर घर बैठा है और अब सीधा म्यूनिक जाएगा. कोई घास भी नहीं डालता उसे टॉटनहम में, और अब फब्रिजियो डाल रहा है कि he's been offered to buy in Munich. What the fuck is wrong with this world, man? I'd be more than happy if we get 30 million for McTominay, for fuck's sake. I don't know what world are we living in. कोई प्लेयर से हम पे पैसा कमाया नहीं जाता, बट McTominay सरप्राइजिंगली जिसके 2-3 बायर्स निकल रहे हैं, we're asking for 45. We're out bidding for McTominay. भाई 45 क्या, तुम 30 million लो. Please, for fuck's sake, pay that 25, 27, whatever you need to get Amrabat done. Please, go do it. Give उसके बचे 3 million for Cucurella. ठीक है, जॉनी एवन साइन करना है, do that. और if you have some sort of bullshit shame, बुल क्रैप नहीं है अगर तुम्हारे दिमाग में, गो फॉर जॉन-क्लेयर टोडिबो. तुमने पवार को जाने दिया, a वर्ल्ड कप विनर who was a Bayern Munich player, who was Champions League winner, I guess. अभी ट्रेबल जीती थी ना Bayern Munich, तब भी तो था वहीं. He is, I guess, a treble winner, a World Cup winner, fucking wanting to come to United, and हमने उसे जाने दिया. Nick, Tagliafico is pushing for a move. For fuck's sake, man. Tagliafico is pushing, तो हम push हो रहे हैं. That's the thing, man. वो तो push करेंगे. It's Manchester United we're talking about, but we are being fucking pushed. That is the whole point. किसके लिए क्या कर रहे हैं हम? There is no sense of coherency. There's no sense of transparency. Man, let me check out Romano if he's commenting something on something, man. Let me check out Romano. Yeah, his latest is United have asked. United have 3 options. Obviously, we have 3 options, but for fuck's sake, man. For fuck's sake. बाइंदीर नहीं हो रहा हमसे, पता नहीं क्या, मतलब हमारे साथ ही 3, 4, 5, 6 मेडिकल हो गए इसके. फाइनल डिटेल्स चल रही है पिछले 2 हफ्ते से. जस्ट फकिंग गेट हिम डन. नो, इट्स लाइक यूनाइटेड इज जस्ट, आई डोंट नो क्या करते हैं यार हम लोग. आई डोंट नो व्हाई. विल्फ्रेड एनडीटी, अमडो ओनाना, I just don't know, man. I have no freaking clue. Manchester City are on the verge of signing Jamal Baptiste, 2003 born centre back. They get deals done like this. Matheus Cunha या Nunez जो भी था वो 40-45 plus 5 मना कर दिया. Obviously they're the treble winners. The player says yes, I want to go. He stopped training with Wolves. 55 plus 5 is he's going to go to fucking Manchester City. One injury they got and they've bought in a player. They are makhan. You know what? Pep Guardiola खुद हक के पैदा नहीं करता ये पूरा structure या players. This is how a club is run. We are waiting for half our squad to freaking die into the grass, and तब जाकर के हम कुछ करेंगे. Bad news on Rafa injury. For fuck's sake, we know that. Cucurella 2.5 million, 6 million मांग रहे हैं. For fuck's sake, man. For fuck's sake. Vishal Bhai says we have 3 options, but we will sign Johnny Evans. हाँ भाई, 2000% we're gonna do Johnny Evans. 2000% we're gonna do Johnny Evans, because that is Manchester United for you. What more do you expect from this club? What has been happening for the past 10 years? This is the bullshit that we have been served. This is the bullshit जो हमें serve होती रहेगी जब तक ये गधे टकले leeches, soul sucking leeches यहाँ पर है. And you know what क्या coverage मिली? You tell me, एक post Sky Sports के अलावा क्या coverage मिली उस protest को? This is not me being anti-protest. This is not me not wanting people to protest. But this is the influence these guys have on the freaking media. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. I'm gonna give you a geopolitical analogy. Russia, Ukraine, there's a war. Whatever's right, whatever's wrong, that's a different story altogether. People are still being injured, people are still dying there every day in both the countries. It's a curse to humanity. It was a news in the first 5 days, first 10 days. The war's still going. Is it a news now? No. So the same way, whenever anything big happens, you know what? They have been sucking money for the past 20 years from this club. It's not going to be news. It's never going to be news because it's not a new thing. The shit will keep happening in the background and it will not be news because that doesn't get you clicks. Sky Sports को क्या clicks मिलेंगे अब Glazers out से? कुछ नहीं. जो उन्हें मिलने थे, कुछ बड़ा होता है, कुछ कोई कहीं से कूद जाता है, तब जाके वो post करते हैं, and that is when they get their clicks and they upload it. No fucking media is going to cover it because they don't get views. As simple as that. This is general economics, general journalism, general selling, buying, selling, viewership, eyes. That's all, man. That is why a director of football is required and not this matter, man. There, if the Hindi idiom, if the Hindi phrase, if the Hindi मुहावरा, एक ही थाली के चट्टे बट्टे, एक ही थाली के चट्टे बट्टे, कोई आ तो नहीं रहा, नहीं, दुनिया के सबसे बड़े, I don't want to say the word, man. एक ही थाली के चट्टे बट्टे, दुनिया के सबसे बड़े, yeah. Glazers for you. If this Hindi muhavra sat on a bunch of people, it's these three fucking losers. In fact, winners. Losers तो हम लोग हैं. चुतिया तो हमारा कटता है as fans. ये तो जो पैसा छाप रहे हैं, PR मशीनरी छाप रहे हैं. Murdoch, Arnold, Glazers. I'd not be surprised अगर इन सब की कमीशन 2.5-3% हर भाग से मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड की एड वुडवर्ड की जेब में जाती हो because it's like एड वुडवर्ड निकल रहा है मास्क के नीचे से. It's the same bullshit being served on a different name. आधार कार्ड चेंज कर लिए हो पर पर्सन सेम हो तुम. ऐसा सीन है. It's the same bullshit, man. It's the same bullshit for fuck's sake. Glad I'm joined by someone. Bhai sab needed someone. Emotional support, bhai. For fuck's sake. Welcome, yaar. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome,
Hello.
bhai. What the fuck's happening,
क्या हाल
man? इधर से चाटा, उधर से फूल, इधर से 3 चाटे, उधर से कांटे. क्या चल रहा है, भाई? Summarize.
Well, I mean, this is Manchester United at their sparkling best. Uh, we are the squad that people look up to in terms of how bad can things go at the start of the season. With a promising squad, this has always been the case with us. Even when we were looking like a unit, I think 2 seasons back when we signed Sancho, Ronaldo, Varane in the same window, we were like, okay, we're going for this because when Ronaldo came, we were scoring goals for fun. We were like, oh, fuck, we have a defender. We always wanted a defender. We have a winger. We wanted a winger. We have Cristiano Ronaldo back. We will have something. And alas, that wasn't the case. It wasn't to be. And it isn't to be right now for Manchester United and Manchester United fans. Hopefully, things will be better. Hopefully, we'll be able to cope better from it. But as a fan of the club who has known the club for a while, I don't think we should pin our hopes too much. We should rather focus on the people who were about to leave the club and try and negate a deal where they can stretch their stance up until January, especially the left back that is Alvaro. He was going, I think, in this particular window, and I think he's still going. But I still believe he's the better option if we are going to pay fucking 7 million for Cucurella. It's not a fair deal that we are getting from Chelsea. And I think Alvaro would much rather be the better option. We can convince him to stay. He'll get some game time, obviously. We can convince him to stay for a while. And for the defensive position, I have my doubts because Varane is injured and now we have a gap to fill. Although Lindelof and Martinez...
Johnny Evans.
Martinez and Lindelof can do the job, but in the big games, especially against Arsenal, where they'll look to break with speed and they'll have pacey players ahead, this is going to be a thing of concern for United. So we can't fill every gap because we have like what 6, 7 injuries at this point. We are looking at many of the players who are going to play a crucial role in the starting few games. You can't really do like 3, 4, 5 signings in the final few days. We'll
No, we
be
can't.
lucky if we get Amrabat or someone a
Genuinely,
deal
if
or
even
two.
if we sign one player at this point, I'd be
It will
like,
be
matlab,
lucky. Okay, so that is the case, and yeah, as a fan, I think what we should be looking forward to is what do you call in the corporate language, damage
control,
control. It's like
damage
damage control, I
limitation.
think. Damage limitation, yeah, whatever you want to call it, but I think that is what United should be going for. You cannot fix everything at this point because it's too late. You can't really have crazy signings in the final. Like
Yeah,
it's now
yeah,
what 1 or 2 days left,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
can't expect. It's unfair even for the people who are at the helm because they have tried their best to get a good window. This is a
Yeah.
decent window at this point. I'll say we have had like players come in and we have had some fixes, but we needed a signing or two more if the players were fit. We now need 2 or 3 more, but I can't really blame this on the people who were responsible for the signings. It's just Manchester United and the luck that we are dealt with. Similar thing is happening to Real. I think Real also have tremendous problems. They have Militao injured. They had their keeper injured. Now they have a replacement keeper in Kepa. So they have had their troubles. That's why the whole Kamavinga meme came about. Every position is being covered by Kamavinga. So we don't have a player like that. We want a player like that who can outdo themselves. But as a fan of the club, as someone who supports the team, you can just hope that we get a signing, one signing or two with a loan or added on with a transfer. I hope it's Amrabat or someone who can play a second fiddle or a replacement to Casemiro because if he continues to play in every game because he'll have to if nobody else comes. He's also bound to get injured. You can't really have a season like he had in the past season and do another one of that at 30 years of age because it's unacceptable for even a younger player. How can he, who is now not in his prime, I think, as a fitness
Yeah, yeah.
standpoint, because uh, I think the peak is like 3, 4 years back. But he's still a great player. He's a fantastic player. I can't really expect him, or any Manchester United fan cannot really expect him to play every game in week in week out. So yeah, I think a player for him, and if we get like a defensive position player, probably a left centre back because he can play second fiddle to the left back because we'll need a centre back and a left back. That is something that you can't really do. You can't have two signings in defense in the final 2 days. I hope it's a left centre back who can cover the two positions when required. Yeah, and one defensive midfielder because these are the positions that we should be looking to bolster. I think Pelistri is going to stay because Ahmad is still not clear when he's going to come back, and we need a winger, especially because Garnacho is not going to start games now. He's going to come as a substitute, and Pelistri would also have to come in as a substitute. Although I want him to start games now, 1 or 2 games here and there, because he has shown promise. He has shown the acceleration coming on as a substitute. I want him to do that from the get go, so that Manchester United can uh, stamp their authority on games more often. We are starting games in a lackluster mode in an approach where it's not looking like a Manchester United side who want to challenge for big titles, and that shift needs to happen. Pelistri could be that player who can start by running at defenders, showing some trickery with some flair, with some speed, and yeah, that is what we can hope for. A transfer, a permanent transfer, a loan deal if we are very lucky, and just hope that what we have we are able to retain because we wanted every player to go out to somewhere, and now we really can't afford that at least till January.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean that pretty much does sum it up for us. And Vishal bhai comes in and says, "Ghanta kuch nahi hoga protest because people are paying for tickets." Yeah, man. And as I said, even from this point, if you take in a perfect world, people who are absolutely committed to getting glazes of this club, even if no one buys a ticket, and I'm saying no one, एक इंसान भी अगर ticket नहीं buy करेगा, you'd still have 50,000 people in Old Trafford because that is the nature. People have already bought in
because
tickets, and
people have season tickets, na.
yeah, exactly.
People
And
have
as I
season
said,
tickets.
yeah, and as I said, Vishal bhai, हमें imagine कर लो, आप खुद को imagine कर लो, हमें imagine कर लो, imagine Asian fans, African fans, जिनका once in a lifetime opportunity होता है of seeing their club play, and they, due to their prices, you know, obviously सब UK से उस background से नहीं है, ये है, people would have pre-booked their, मतलब बहुत advance में, and now you
हाँ,
really tell them
बहुत अच्छा.
to not go because a bunch of twats are still there. They're still gonna be, you know what? At this point, अगर हाथ जोड़ सकते हैं बस हम genuinely as भीखमंगा as it sounds, हाथ जोड़ सकते हैं हम literally, because when they have to go वो
Please
तभी
जाओ.
जाएंगे. उनने उन गधों ने एक पैसा नहीं लगाया है, and they have, I don't know in what economic sense, put up a barrier of 5.99 billion or more. इससे कम तो हम देखेंगे ही नहीं. मतलब because they know जिस
Double
कुएं
the
को वो
double
वो
the
तेल
price
से भरा है.
of Chelsea.
Sorry.
Double the price of Chelsea. Double
हाँ,
the price of
exactly.
Chelsea. Chelsea was
Exactly.
sold for 3 billion.
अरे भाई पारितोष भाई, हर फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ दिस वर्ल्ड, मॉर्गन स्टैनली, तुम्हारे जो दो चार वो फुट, everyone, the maximum we have been क्या बोलते हैं valuated is at 3.84 billion. The average valuation for us is 2.9 से लेकर 3.5. That's it. ये पता नहीं कौन सी,
अरे
जैसे ये फूक के
कतरी
बैठे कि
मनी.
मैक्टोमिने के इनको 45 मिल जाएंगे, वैसे ये गधे फूक के बैठे, बट दे एक्चुअली गेट इट because you know
नहीं,
what.
पता है क्या? If we had how should I put this? If we had not had like horrendous transfer windows in terms of selling for the past 5 years, uh, yeah, for the past 5 years, I think we will not have the kind of condition that we are in. We wouldn't have sold our young players for 1 or 2 million. We wouldn't have tried selling our midfielders who have played for like 3, 4, 5 years, who were bought for 50 odd million. We wouldn't have sold them for 10, 15 million. Yes, that is also the equation that we are paying shitloads of money to them in wages, and these other clubs, they have to cover that wage now. And although it's not the same, but it's still a very high wage in which they have to sign these players in. So that cost that the other club is to pay to these players, the Manchester United also has to pay for them basically. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that also brings down the cost that we are going to get in the transfer window. But it's just that the shit showing in Europe, the shit showing in terms of the financial decisions that are taken for the past 2, 3 windows or 4, 5 windows, to be exact. Or I think this all the culmination of it leads to the current situation that United are in, that we are not able to dispose players of earlier. And now, because we had the season we had last season, because we played a hell lot of games last season. We were in the final of the FA Cup. We won the AFL. Premier League में we obviously have to play the 30 odd games. The Europe में मतलब काफी आगे गए थे हम सीरियस है जब we lost out. उसमें भी हम आगे जा सकते थे और ज्यादा. तो यहाँ पर सिचुएशन ये है कि ये प्लेयर्स ऑलरेडी फटीग थे. इनको रेस्ट चाहिए था, एंड रेस्ट शायद उतना मिल नहीं पाया, या फिर यू कांट रियली एक्सपेक्ट प्लेयर्स टू जस्ट गो 2 सीजंस इन अ रो, स्पेशली व्हेन द लास्ट सीजन वाज अ वर्ल्ड कप सीजन, जो कि विंटर वर्ल्ड कप था. इट वाज नॉट इवन समर वर्ल्ड कप के उसके बाद ब्रेक लेके फिर द सीजन स्टार्ट. सीजन में
Yeah.
चल रहा था, उसके बाद आफ्टर वर्ल्ड कप दे केम बैक इनटू द सीजन, दे प्लेड द होल सीजन. और अभी भी जितना मैंने देखा था प्लेयर्स को, बिकॉज ऑफ द डिमांड्स ऑफ द गेम, ऑफ सीजन में भी दे आर ट्रेनिंग. सो इतना ज्यादा अगर लगातार कुछ ना कुछ चल ही रहा होगा, you need to blow off some steam at some point, and if that is not the case, your body is going to react in a way you don't really want, and that is what has happened.
Yeah, yeah. मतलब I think I don't know what I'll rate it because मेरे को believe नहीं हो रहा है, but if there could be a slight positive, that is कि McTominay apparently Bayern को चाहिए, and I don't know in what world they are wanting Eric Dyer
नहीं
and Scott McTominay in one team. I think Tuchel is cooking. तो तो वहाँ
नहीं,
पर
I
क्या
think नहीं, when you look at it objectively, if you look at the powers of Scott McTominay, ठीक है, we are not able to market him as the player that he is. See, he's physically strong, ठीक है, that is one, ठीक है. He is good near the attacking spaces, but we have a player like Bruno there. We have a player like Rashford there who are really, really good. So if Scott McTominay played in any other team, or if his preferred position, because he was always supposed to be a 8 or 10 player as a younger player coming up. If you go back and look at his academy days, he was always the player who would make his runs from midfield to attack. But the role that Manchester United senior team wanted him was more of a defensive role, to hold the play, to do the dirty work, and to play second fiddle to these attacking players, to play the long balls, but not every time. So you look at it and his Scotland record, Scotland, and it's completely different. If you look at it, he plays as a defensive player and he's still able to score because he's always on the rise. He's always trying to attack the opposition. So he's a good player. He has capabilities. It's just that he has not suited the United and for that, I'd still rate McTominay if he had like one good season. If you look at him physically as a player, he looks like a proper football player who can fit into any team. If you just show an image of him, because he's physically strong, he's fast. He's not scary fast, but he's fast. He's not slow, and he can put in challenges. He can strike a ball good. He has scored some good goals for us. So he has things in his locker. It's just that he is not has a
he can't
breakout
pass.
season where you can say
He
he's
can't
a
pass.
top player.
He can't pass though. His pass through. You know, many times I've seen him, getting into the final third, and then basically वो D के अंदर shoot करता है ball को. He can't pass.
Yes.
He shoots into spaces.
Yes, he shoots.
And as a Manchester United midfielder, or he by the way, he can't turn with the ball. He like if he's facing the centre backs, he has to pass it to the centre backs, or he has to wait in for someone laterally to arrive.
He is good. He's not world class. He is good and he's not world class. And for Manchester United, you need to be world class.
छोड़ो 30 million लेके जान दो उसे. Bayern Munich, you get 30, you fucking pay the 3.5 of Cucurella, and you pay the 25-27 to Amrabat. बस जाने दो, जान छोड़ो.
Yeah, some deal needs to be done. Some deal needs to be done because we need the money, we need the player side.
I don't know, man. इतनी चौड़ अभी भी हमारी होगी. Are we still maintaining our shit stance with sell to buy? 20 million आए हैं अभी of Dean Henderson. ये जो बेनदार ये जो भी है पिछले इसके 2 हफ्ते से मेडिकल ही चल रहा है. कौन सी बीमारी है इसको भगवान जाने. I keep discovering new terms with United. प्री मेडिकल में जिंदगी में I swear पहली बार सुन रहा हूँ कि पहले तो टर्की में मतलब भाई इतनी ही क्या बीमारी है जो इंग्लैंड ने आने दिया, इसको टर्की में ही करवा ले तू. So I mean, this is some next level shit. One of the good things is कि हमने इसका लोन हटवा के परमानेंट कर दिया डीन एंडरसन का. That was nice because these क्रिस्टल पैलेस का भरोसा नहीं है, डाउन जाएगी ये होगा तो फिर उसको हम बेच नहीं पाते और कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता है. They would have gotten a younger something.
अरे especially because एक तो wages हमारा सबसे बड़ा problem is the wages. हमारा wage bill बहुत high है.
अभी
हमारा wage bill बहुत
season at least
high है अभी, ठीक है. और इन प्लेयर्स को सही समय पे और सही मनी के लिए बेचना इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि अभी मैगवायर जैसा प्लेयर भी बहुत हाई वेजेस पे, ठीक है, और उसको वो ऑलरेडी बहुत बड़ा एक होल बर्न कर चुका है पॉकेट में, ठीक है, बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रांसफर फीस और जितना टाइम वो रह गया है अभी तक. His performances, although I don't really support the trolling that he gets, but the facts are that he has costed us money. और उसको फाइनेंशियल डिसीजन लेना वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है. लेकिन at the wrong moment Varane भी injured है, so you can't really afford to lose players just everywhere.
People were over relying on Varane.
I can understand.
Key track record with their injury record. People were freaking over relying heavily because people just think कि अभी ये Varane और Martinez हैं and they'll solve everything. That is sadly not the case. That is sadly not the case with them because yeah, मतलब ऐसा ही सीन रहा है उनका शुरू से. They are injury prone and especially Rafael Varane. We've lost Paritosh bhai. I think he'll be back for sure. So yeah, I mean that is that. So Scott McTominay का ये जो news निकल के आ रहा है, that's obviously a positive. I I'd be the happiest man in the world if we could strike any form of deal, let alone Bayern Munich. कहीं से कुछ हम McTominay, and then we seriously need to, you know what? Just go and replace him. There, you have ample. Please just grow a pair of balls and go and spend that fucking money for fuck's sake. Fuck's sake, get in. You wanted a hojbjerg. He has that Dutch experience with the team. I think it was Bayern Munich two only. Bayern Munich का younger वाला जो Erik ten Hag ने manage किया था. So I think you have him from there with a link to Erik ten Hag if he wants him. Get him. You can get him for cheap if you want to, and then you can get Amrabat. That's around 40 million, 45 million for you. You've got a net 13, a net positive 13 from the GK swap. Then you'd have 30, 35 if you could sell off McTominay or someone. You get in a Johnny Evans, fair enough. अब क्या कर सकते हैं if you don't want to get Todibo because he sure as hell is going to price बहुत महंगा पड़ेगा हमें because the club knows now that they have a CB crisis and he's going to. So you have a cover for Casemiro, you have a replacement for McTominay / Fred. You have that midfield depth. Now you can pick and choose your players. Sometimes you don't feel Casemiro feels enough. You can pair him up with Amrabat or pair him up with the hojbjerg or someone. ड्रामे कर रही है Chelsea, ड्रामे कर रही है नहीं लेना ठीक है भाड़ में जाओ. Learn from Manchester City. You're not going to overpay. Fuck the player. Go for Tagliafico. He has that Dutch experience. He has that experience with Ten Hag. Let trust in Ten Hag. छोड़ दो. कोई 7 मिलियन नहीं दे रहा उस घुंगरेला के मतलब 10-11 मिलियन में तो हमें रेगुलर मिल जाएगा and we're not going to fucking pay for like one season 7 और पता नहीं 50-60 का obligation to buy. We don't fucking want it. We don't want them for a life.
Region's still better.
Yeah, but as I said, better ना better अगर 10% कम भी है पारितोष भाई, if we get him almost for 1.5 times of what the Chelsea shit club is asking as loan fee for Cucurella, मतलब छोड़ दो भाई उसे. We don't want him. मतलब let him. अभी जैसे Wolves है, मैटियस नूनियस के लिए बिड कर रही है. एक और बार ड्रामा किया अगर Wolves ने 60 मिलियन नूनियस के 6 भी ना डिजर्व करे वो डंक के मार्केट में, बट 60 मिलियन मिल रहे हैं उसके. If they don't accept it, they'll say fuck off and move on. They did this with Fred, Maguire, Sanchez, to name some of the घोर आरोप that we have.
अभी वेस्ट हैम के साथ भी तो हुआ पैकेटा वाला डील भी तो ऐसी.
मतलब उस डील में पारितोष भाई दो चूतिए थे बड़े. पहला मैनचेस्टर सिटी की तरफ से जिसने 110 मिलियन ऑफर किया और दूसरा बड़े वाला और दूसरा बड़े वाला वेस्ट हैम की तरफ से जिसने उसको नो बोला. तो दो बड़े चूतिए इन्वॉल्व थे इसमें.
अरे मतलब ये पता है क्या, दिस इज वो यू ट्राई टू बी टू ग्रीडी कि तुम्हें लग रहा है कि अच्छा इतना मान गए शायद 20 मिलियन और मिल जाए. अरे भाई व्हाट द फक इज गोइंग ऑन. एक तो 100 मिलियन तो कुछ रह ही नहीं गया. मतलब 100 मिलियन इज जस्ट थ्रो अवे फीस नाउ एंड इट्स स्कैरी कि फुटबॉल मनी इज डिफरेंट भाई. 100 मिलियन जब कुछ साल पहले फाइट ऑफ द ईयर या फाइट ऑफ द मिलेनियम होती थी ना कि फ्लॉयड वर्सेस पैकिया हो गई, तब बोलते 100 मिलियन फाइट मतलब एक यहाँ एक फुटबॉल ट्रांसफर 100 मिलियन इज लाइक अ जोक. हाँ 100 मिलियन ठीक है. राइस 100 मिलियन काइसेडो $100 मिलियन. व्हाट द फक भाई. मतलब एक मून प्रोजेक्ट लूनर प्रोजेक्ट हो गया है.
वही मैं कह रहा हूँ 3 हो गए यार उससे कम में. That's
100 odd million is joke.
It's fucking amazing the way this. और ये गंदा सबसे गंदा ट्रांसफर जिसने कुछ किया भी नहीं अपनी जिंदगी में, नेमार, इसने सब सत्यानाश कर दिया. He just fucking broke the bank along with Kylian. इनको हाई लगी है पूरे फुटबॉलिंग सारे जो छोटे क्लब मिलके दोनों को दिया है and they are not able to set their feet.
नहीं एम्बापे तो is good. एम्बापे तो रियल चला जाएगा.
He is but उसका चैंपियंस लीग वाला सीन, let's see वहां पर भी क्या है.
अरे वो सब जीत जाएगा यार. He's too good a player. He's too good a player to just falter.
Yeah,
I think he's too good.
Of course he will. But Paritosh bhai, you said we had a decent window and some people have always been overcritical. मतलब थोड़ी सी चोट लग गई गुदगुदी करती ग्लेजर यहाँ पे तो मक्खी ने काट लिया. See, I was of that opinion की. But फिर मैंने थोड़ा सा सोचा and when I saw these two moves by Man City भाई, I think एक विंडो अच्छी या गंदी I think आपके पीयर से डिसाइड होती है. So wherein I think कि हमारी recent history के हिसाब से decent window रही है. बट अब वो मुझे फुदकती भी नीचे जा रही है, बिकॉज यू नो व्हाट, De Bruyne को इंजर्ड हुए अभी 3 दिन नहीं हुए, they've already booked a replacement when I don't even think they fucking want it. लेफ्ट बैक उनके पास नहीं था, they changed the system, उन्हें लेफ्ट बैक ही नहीं चाहिए. Cole Palmer, we don't see him for anything. He scores in the FA Cup. What a sublime goal! He almost won it them for them there. He equalized in the UEFA Super Cup. Header ऐसे मारा जैसे he was like such a long term player for them.
अरे Cole Palmer is a good player. अगर तुम last season देखोगे ना, Cole Palmer, क्योंकि Kyle Walker was supposed to go this season. Yeah. If you look at the Manchester City movement during the start of the transfer window, there was a huge chance of Kyle Walker leaving. उसके बाद reports आई थी कि Pep Guardiola और Kyle Walker met in a restaurant, they had dinner and they had talked about things. So I think he must have told him कि तेरे को रुकना पड़ेगा एक सीजन और, तो उसने साइन तो किया है.
core leaving. Gundogan भी
हाँ, तो मतलब अरे स्पाइन जा रहा था ना एक साइड का, अब एक स्पाइन खत्म हो रहा था टीम का, क्योंकि बहुत सारे प्लेयर एक साथ जा रहे थे, तो उसने बोला था एक सीजन मतलब गिव इट मी अ सीजन और टू, उसको मिल ही जाएगा ट्रांसफर. तो काइल वॉकर ऐसा है नहीं, क्योंकि दीस प्लेयर्स आर नॉट रॉन्ग इन लीविंग. ठीक है, ट्रेवल हो गया, अब क्या, अब कुछ भी वो करे तो वो कम ही रहेगा ना, उससे ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या कर सकते हैं. इस साल और प्रीमियर लीग जीत सकते, तो फॉरेनर हो जाएगा, जो कभी हुआ नहीं है. हाँ, जो कभी हुआ नहीं. एक चीज और हो सकती है उसके अलावा, यू कांट डू कि चैंपियंस लीग 2 बार वो भी हो चुका है, ट्रेबल 2 बार करना तो मतलब इट्स नियर इम्पॉसिबल. 2 बार तो नहीं हो पाता, मतलब बहुत ही कोई टीम ऐसे नहीं कर पाएगी. बहुत मतलब सिटी कर सकती है, ऐसा नहीं है नहीं कर सकती, लेकिन इट्स लाइक इट इज गोइंग टू बी something you will not see for like rest of your footballing fan career.
वो तो खैर मतलब
हाँ, तो वो उस टाइप का फीट है. ट्रेवल फिर भी हमने देखा हियर एंड देयर, मतलब 2-3 निकल जाते हैं कहीं किसी कंट्री में या कुछ. Obviously City is the only second English side to do it after United, but it's still a huge task. तो इन प्लेयर्स को नया चैलेंज ढूंढना कुछ गलत नहीं है, ठीक है, बट पेप गार्डियोला मस्ट हैव अंडरस्टूड कि जो रोल काइल वॉकर प्ले करता है ना, नॉट ओनली एज अ प्लेयर बट एज अ लीडर, बिकॉज ही इज नॉट अ सीनियर प्लेयर, वो कमांड करता है लेफ्ट साइड. ठीक है, इट्स वेरी हार्ड टू गेट अवे फ्रॉम हिम because he has the pace, he has the power, and he is the leader in that side. So abhi they wanted him और वो रुक गया. फिर Cole Palmer was supposed to be the next player in line. Obviously he's no Kyle Walker. Obviously उसको fit करने में time लगता. Obviously it wouldn't have been a like for like replacement. But Cole Palmer is not a bad player. Okay, he's an average player. He's a good player, not even average. He's a good player. It's just that Kyle Walker again
सब वर्ल्ड क्लास बन जाते हैं 2 साल में यार पेप के अंडर रह.
हाँ, तो वो उसके सिस्टम पे तो वो ऑब्वियसली उसकी बेटर क्वालिटीज बाहर आती हैं. कोच डज दैट फॉर यू, एंड अ कोच लाइक गार्डियोला, हु obviously I don't consider him the greatest, but he is one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time, no doubt.
For sure.
He is, and his one of his most prominent features is that he makes people look good.
Yeah, absolutely.
He understands their abilities and he uses them for the merit of the team. Absolutely. And he is able to utilize the positive things from players, and he knows exactly how to fit players. So if a player is in the side, even if he is not in the playing 11, they have a role in the side. He has the system in mind to get them accumulated, or he'll just transfer them if it's not fitting in the system. We have seen in the past, because many signings which did not fit with Barcelona, they were just removed from the system, removed from the team. And so I think Cole Palmer is not a bad player. He's a good player. Now that they have injuries, they'll be able to utilize him more often. We have seen this with players coming in and stepping up. Rodri is doing the same. Rodri had a great last season.
Look how seamless he feels now.
Alvarez is the kind of player who can play a Gundogan role. He has the creative abilities. He is the player who can get you goals. He has the abilities who can.
Name one City signing that is not. See, that is the thing. Even 100 million का Jack Grealish first season आया, कोई चक्कर नहीं. You sit out. You come in when you want to. You don't do anything. It's okay. There's no pressure. We'll keep winning. That is Anthony आया, डाल यही बदलेगा यूनाइटेड को. Garnacho नीचे से उठ के आया, यही अपना स्टार बॉय. Greenwood, Ronaldo into one. ठीक है, Sancho आया, he'll do shit for us. ठीक है, Martinez आया, so you know, एक स्क्वाड के अंदर लेके अभी look at how Phil Foden was introduced and indulged into the squad. Look how Cole Palmer was. Look how Rico Lewis is being done. Look,
नहीं, अब पता है क्या ये, if we talk about all this ना, अब ये बहुत सारा reflect करेगा on the speech that Mourinho gave about footballing heritage. If you remember when he was in charge, he gave this very famous speech और उसको अभी तक quote करते लोग. And that is the difference. If you look at the past decade of football that United have played after Sir Alex, and even the last few years of Sir Alex, look at after Ronaldo went and Rooney was the only player who survived that team. Robin Van Persie came in, he was great one season. Then after that, Sir Alex retired because of his personal things, his health and everything. And later on, these players who he bought in Shinji Kagawa, who was great in his first season but wasn't able to do anything after that. He was one of the great players in the Dortmund side at that point, and he was not able to get back to the levels.
Probably Phil Jones, Smalling.
हाँ,
You know the
बहुत सारे प्लेयर, अरे क्लेवरली खेला है यार, इतना अच्छा हमारे लिए क्लेवरली, अब बहुत अच्छा खेला वॉटफोर्ड में, कि मतलब उसका ट्रेजेक्टरी कंप्लीटली चेंज हो गया है, तो वो वाली बात अलग है. लेकिन एक यूनाइटेड साइड के लिए खेल के गोल मारना वो अलग होता है, और वॉटफोर्ड के लिए एक अच्छा प्लेयर निकल के, अ गुड लीडर निकल के निकलना वो अलग होता है. ठीक है, तो नो डिसरिस्पेक्ट टू क्लेवरली, बट वो डिफरेंस था सर एलेक्स में. ठीक है, उसके बाद से तो यू लुक एट द ट्रांसफर दैट हैव बीन डन, you look at the shifts in managers that have taken place. We have not won a Premier League after that. You look at City before or after that. Okay, Roberto Mancini, Manuel Pellegrini. Pellegrini के टाइम पे the Aguero thing happened. ठीक है, after that. और उसके बाद से there has been a constant rise in the trajectory of Manchester City as a club, but that has not been the case with United. And it all comes back. You can't really change the trajectory in like a season or 2 seasons. It happens over a long period of time, and that has not happened for United. Although I am a fan and I am hopeful, and we all want United to succeed, but it is not going to be an overnight thing. It's not going to happen in 1 or 2 years. It's going to take a long time to develop the kind of dominance that City have done. You look at Sir Alex; he built it for 4 or 5 years before it became a thing. Then the momentum happened, and there were dips in the momentum as well throughout his 25-year odd career. It's not that they were just running through teams. There's a season or two where there's a dip and then they rise up again. So that happens, and that's completely okay. But the momentum takes time to build. It's not going to be in a season, in a transfer window.
It's obviously not going to be a straight line. Stuff.
And with the current scenario of media and the generation that is coming up, they don't really have patience for that. Our attention span is smaller. We can't really wait for good things to happen. And if you're a Manchester United fan, it's going to take a while. You have to just get that across your head.
And you know what? Mojo sir often says this, and मैं तो कहता हूँ hopefully ना हो, but that's a very valid point. कि it's we have been a consistently successful club, but like we have been successful in big spurts, और वो बहुत filled up होते हैं success से, and then very big barren patches. So like Crispy Babe से transformation हुआ था, then to Sir Alex, that was a big ass barren patch.
अरे तो जब सर एलेक्स का
26 साल टाइटल नहीं था, अभी तो 10 ही साल हुए हैं. So he seems to have seen it all.
अरे तो you look at the whole thing when Sir Alex came. तुम उस टाइम के न्यूज़पेपर्स वगैरह के हेडलाइंस जो कभी दिख जाती है, he was on the brink of getting fired.
Sacked, yeah.
United were really struggling.
3 games into it, yeah.
They were really struggling. United Aberdeen से जो भी किया था Sir Alex, he came in with a high profile. Obviously, उसने बहुत खतरनाक results लाए थे from a club which
still the only team to beat Real Madrid in a European
final. In a Champions League final. मतलब हाँ, European Champions League, not Champions League, European final.
Yeah.
So he had his successes, but वो once in a generation thing ही था वो manager.
Yeah.
और it's not necessary कि आपको वो मिलेगा हर बार. अगर even if Aaron Ten Hag is successful, a Premier League title, a Champions League title, और उसको भी सक्सेस ही मानेंगे अगर सिर्फ एक ही टाइटल भी मिलता है, क्योंकि not everybody is going to have like a run ये 3 टाइटल 4 टाइटल it is not going to happen every time. ठीक है, there are like how many clubs, like hundreds of clubs in England, और यूनाइटेड भी उनमें से एक है. तो एक क्लब जो इतना सक्सेसफुल रहा है, उसके पीछे 99 क्लब्स ऐसे भी हैं जो नहीं रहे तो सक्सेसफुल. तो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि यूनाइटेड ऑलवेज सेंटर ऑफ अट्रैक्शन होगा. अभी सिटी है सेंटर ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, यू जस्ट हैव टू एक्सेप्ट. और they have taken their time to build. Obviously it's scary, it's not pleasant as a United fan, but that is the case. And when you look at it from a wider perspective, ठीक है, मतलब things like this happen. क्या कर सकते हैं? We had promise. We अभी वही कर सकते हैं कि we wait for all these players to get fit and then mount a challenge around Christmas and after that. ठीक है, अभी हम लोग स्ट्रगल करेंगे. there will be games where we will like scratching our heads कि क्या कर रहा है टेन हैग, इसको कुछ नहीं पता है. एक टैक्टिक्स फक अप कर रहा है, इसके पास प्लेयर्स क्या कर रहे हैं. and that is going to happen. हम लोग खुद आके भी रिएक्ट करेंगे एक आध गेम भी. but just get ready for it. At least it will be better.
Absolutely, pretty well summarized. So I think that is about it. Just before ending this, Abhisar Bhai is here and he asks who's to be preferred for LB then. See, Abhisar Bhai, we discussed it out. I think with the bullshitly high price they're asking for Cucurella एक season के लिए, उसको मारो गोली if they don't budge 6-7 million.
अरे यार उसको तो खिलाते भी नहीं है, क्या चाहिए इन लोग को? पैसा ऐसा नहीं चाहिए क्या?
पता है, you know, 3-3.5 maximum. If they do it, fair enough. If they don't, Nico Tagliafico, good previous connection with Ten Hag, सस्ते में आ जाएगा. Reguilon उस 7 million में 3-4 million, और although Spurs will be more than happy to let him leave. So I think that's our take on it.
तो Reguilon भी कहाँ खेलता है Spurs के लिए? Reguilon doesn't play for Spurs.
No, he doesn't, but he's still in the Spurs. मतलब like
नहीं, he is on the payroll. मैं वैसे बोल रहा हूँ कि they don't really need him ना.
Red list. So yeah, with that बड़ा एकदम roller coaster ऊपर नीचे वाला. So just to summarize it.
और चलता ही रहेगा 2 दिन ऐसे ही रहेगा.
बिल्कुल. It's gonna fucking happen and we'll be here to cover it, by the way, to everyone who's watching. So do keep tuning in because, so just to summarize it now, Varane भैया injured, जो सबको लग रहा था कि Varane अब स्टील की काब्स बना चुका है. He's still a chopstick. मैंने कहा था कि वो नूडल से चॉपस्टिक पे अपग्रेड हो गया है. उसकी काब्स अभी वो स्टील की नहीं बनी है. So वो गया. Then there is Luke Shaw. उसको पता नहीं कौन सी इंजरी हुई है जो हर दूसरे दिन 2 हफ्ते बढ़ रही है. Apparently he'll be out till half the season, December के बाद देखा जाएगा. Rafael Varane 6 weeks कह रहे हैं. So that
6 weeks, 6 weeks इंजरी है ना. 2 इंजरी 6 weeks वाला बना.
Sorry,
I think 2 इंजरीज का अपडेट था ना 6 weeks वाला, कि 2 इंजरीज ऐसी हैं जो 6 weeks में आ जाएगी. एक ल्यूक शॉ था और दूसरा
ल्यूक शॉ का is feared. हर दिन उसकी 2 बार न्यूज आ गई. It's feared more worse than before. तो अब वो टायरल मलासिया जिसका कुछ पता ही नहीं है वो कहाँ है, वो अपेरेंटली अब मिड दिसंबर तक बाहर हैं वो दोनों अपेरेंटली. 6 weeks for Varane means ये जो अभी इस गेम के बाद इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक आएगा, फिर 2-3 गेम होंगे, उसके बाद जो इंटरनेशनल ब्रेक होगा उसके बाद Varane आएगा वापस. That is the update for him. So most probably guys, Johnny Evans के लिए तैयार. Then we have Maguire, Lindelof and Martinez there. And then Scott McTominay, भगवान जाने क्या फूक रहा है बोर्ड, but I'm all up for it. And 45 million कितना भी फूक ले कोई 45 नहीं देगा McTominay के, that I can guarantee.
35 मिले भाई, भेज दो. 35 मिल जाए निकाल दो उसको.
30 भैया भेज दो. So then there is Amrabat, जो I think अब वो नहीं होता है जो ऐसे खड़े होते हैं, ऐसे हाथ पैरा है and heroine होती है उनके सामने से निकल जाती है. I think that's going to happen with Amrabat now. There's no focus onto him, but we hope that
Amrabat के लिए Liverpool भी also gunning, no? They also want to.
Liverpool is, but I think it was more about sort of the Amrabat की agency trying to force out to move, because Wataru Endohan, obviously I think they're still on the lookout for a defensive profile का player. बट एंडो आ गया, इनने अभी कम बैक भी कर लिया न्यूकैसल से, तो ये इनका भी दिमाग पगला जाएगा. इनके भी ओनर स्टेडी हैं, दे डोंट वांट टू स्पेंड मनी. So
FSG is known for being nicely spenders.
Yeah. So yeah, that is about it. Again, a big thank you to everyone who joined in. A small request, if you could like the video and subscribe to the goddamn channel, and also notification bell press कर दो यार. Many updates, as Paritosh bhai said, अभी तो खत्म हो रहा है विंडो, अभी तो हमारे लिए विंडो स्टार्ट होता है. So इसीलिए we have to be sort of awake to that. So anything comes up, you'll be the first one to be notified. So till then, as hard as it is, as Paritosh bhai said, keep supporting United. GGMU, and we'll speak to you in a bit.
Ciao.